My secret is that, to be honest with you, I would have never imagined in a million years that I would be at a meeting like this, let alone be speaking at a meeting like this. And let me explain why. If you had said to me 4 years ago, let's go back 4 years, and you'd said to me, Steve, there's this magical way of eating where people eat as much as they want and they just magically lose weight without even trying, and their chronic conditions just sort of melt away, they reverse themselves, and they get off, in many cases, or they get off many of their medications, in many cases all of their medications, I would have said, you're crazy. There's no way that's true. You sound like a quack. And I would have said, first of all, if that were true, I'm sure I would have heard about that in medical school. And if not medical school, then definitely residency training. And if not residency training, I'm sure I would have heard about it when I got out into the real world of practice. And then if you'd said to me, well, Steve, look, not only are those things true, but you yourself are going to eat that way in the near future, and you're going to transform your own health, and after transforming your own health, you're going to help many of your patients do the same and transform their own health eating this way, and you're going to become so passionate about it, you're going to actually someday maybe even speak about it. I would have said, there's just no way this is going to happen. I would have thought, first of all, if you had said it was a plant-based diet, my initial reaction, my knee-jerk reaction, I don't know how many of you have had this initial knee-jerk reaction, but if I would have been told it was a plant-based diet, I would have thought, plants, that sounds like rabbit food. There's no way I'm going to eat a rabbit food diet. Now, let's skip ahead. I think you guys can imagine by now that I do eat this way, otherwise I wouldn't be up here. I do love the food, but that would have been my initial reaction. Well, needless to say, if none of these things were true, again, I wouldn't be up here. All these things are true and have come true, and I'm so excited and so honored to be able to share my personal story and my professional story and many of my patients' stories. Do you guys like stories?
Yes.
All right, good. I thought you guys might like stories. So with that said, actually, I'd like to start with a story. And as Jeff mentioned, I co-created a group last year, a group program with a nurse practitioner who I work with named Maureen. And we called it Life 180, and we called it Life 180 because we thought that if people transform their plate, the way they eat, that they could transform their lives 180 degrees. And so one of the patients I'm going to show some videos, actually. The first patient I'm going to show you is actually, he was very skeptical that this would work. In fact, he didn't even want to be there. His name was David, or is David, I should say. And he was kind of the last guy. I thought I couldn't do this. And I thought, well, if I can do this, anybody can do it. But now I say, no, if David can do it, anybody can do it. Because to be honest with you, just pull this up here real quick. I call him the grumpy skeptic because he only came to our group because his wife wanted to be there. He just kind of was tagging along, supporting her, but he actually admits that he wanted to prove this didn't work. So does anyone want to see David's video and he was a retired truck driver as well. He admits he never ate well. So does anyone want to see what happens when you take a retired truck driver who never ate well and didn't want to be there and wanted to prove it didn't work, and then see what happens when you put him on a plant-based diet? Okay. Here we go. Here's David.
At first, I wasn't impressed, because I'm 66 years old and I don't like change, And I drove truck for 43 years, and my diet was not real well. I ate wherever I could find room to park a truck. So they put me on this plant-based diet. First couple weeks, they called me grumpy. And had a little bit of an attitude. But I was going to prove to them that it doesn't work. That was my whole objective. So I came to support my wife. It wasn't for me. So after 3 weeks, I had lost 15 pounds. Wow. Not trying. And I'm going, well, I didn't know what the heck was going on. So started checking the numbers, and I'm going, I couldn't believe what had happened. if I was under 168 or 170, I was impressed. All of a sudden, my numbers were down to 104. And I mean, I've never been 104, ever. In 13 years, I've never seen a 104. Yeah, my temperature's higher than that. So, long story short is, that theory of it wasn't going to work, the numbers don't lie. My last reading for A1C was 6.7.
Wow, that's good.
So, I mean, that was remarkable. The numbers just don't lie. So it does work. Even if you're not trying, it works. It really does. It was really impressive. There's no more blood pressure medicine. There's no more diabetes medicine. There's no more cholesterol medicine. I am on absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It works. But the plant-based diet really works. It really does. If you give it a half a chance, you're going to succeed. There's no way not to succeed if you give it a half a chance. You need it bad. I mean, who wants to lose their feet? Nobody wants to lose their feet or lose their eyesight. So, I mean, you talk about being given a second chance at life.
Yes.
All kidding aside, you just, it chokes you up a little bit inside, give you a lump in your throat because you've been given a second chance.
Yes.
My grandkids are going to be able to, I'm going to be around for a while. Thanks to Dr. Lawinda, the plant-based diet, and the group. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
All right. You guys like that story? Yes. So I don't know about you, but that story gives me a lot of hope, right? Because I would have thought, and I'm sure you guys, I imagine many of you would have thought if you first met David that maybe he wouldn't be able to do that.